I really wish that this was a video where I'm going to be sounding so excited and energetic about brand new My Team career mode features in the upcoming brand new F1 game. But unfortunately, I'm left worried and disappointed at finally the news we've got of anything of F1 23 My Team career mode. So far in the reveal cycle for F1 23, we have got nothing regarding My Team career mode, driver career mode, nothing. We've heard a lot about F1 World. EA and Cody's have put out a plenty more coming to F1 23. With F1 23's launch less than 2 weeks away, here are things that you may have missed. Or more, that should be worded, things we have missed out. Not we've not missed anything, okay? Because a lot of us have been like Hawkeyes waiting on My Team stuff. We've not missed it. You guys have missed it. And this is it. My Team and career mode improvements. Let's read it. I've skimmed it already, which is why I started the video off in a bit of a somber tone already. But let's delve into the details. This is our first ever look and ever, sound of F1 23 My Team career mode. We have made a number of changes under the hood to further improve your experience in the popular My Team career and two-player career modes that give the opportunity to create your own Formula 1 legacy as one of your favourite real-world teams or as the 11th pair on the grid. To start, we have updated the ratings and acclaims of all drivers, better reflecting their real-world performances. Right. Let me get one thing clear. This is not an update. That's not a new thing. That's not something to shout about. Updating the ratings and acclaim is quite literally the bare minimum you have to do in a year-by-year sports title. That would be like FIFA coming out and still rating Ronaldo the same as he was when he was at the peak of his Real Madrid career. He's just not, so you have to update that. It's just standard. That's not really something to shout about, but that's, to start, that's what they've done. Congratulations. This goes for those currently competing in Formula 1 and Formula 2, as well as racing greats known as the My Team Icons. Okay, so they maybe updated the stats of the My Team Icons, which, to be fair, actually I think was more needed than the current drivers, because I think some of them maybe needed some tweaks just to kind of, some of them like Schumacher and Senna, for example, you really show that they are absolute icons. And obviously they've got other drivers that are coming in, because they've got, speaking of icons, 7 drivers will return from the previous games. Obviously we've actually lost Nico Hulkenberg because he's now on the grid, which, to be fair, also kind of shows he maybe shouldn't have been an icon on last year's game. They should have got someone else, because an icon to me is someone who's absolutely not going to be returning to the roster anytime soon. I don't know. We added 8 new faces to the game too. So this is their first verbal confirmation that we're going to get the 1992 world champion Nigel Mansell, Japanese sensation Kamui Kobayashi, the ever exciting, bit of sarcasm there maybe, Pastor Maldonado are ready to join your team on their journey to the top. So you've got Maldonado in there. I'm sure that'll be like a funny choice for people to try and make Maldonado a world champion or whatever. Plus they've got 3-time W Series champion Jamie Chadwick to join the roster. And then for those with a pre-order bonus, you also get 4 drivers from Breaking Point, past and present. So you've got Devin Butler, Aiden Jackson, Casper Ackerman, and Callie Mayer. Don't know what the ratings are going to be. I suspect they're not going to be any higher than I don't think any of them are going to be 90, for example. And then they'll just be a decent baseline, obviously with some personnel facilities. They might be pretty good. Looking at your teams and facilities, we've made a number of balance changes across the board to provide a more authentic Formula 1 experience. So they've reworked team and facilities. Balancing, again, is it's nothing new. That's just tweaking how it works in terms of maybe how, things cost. So they say the starting facilities of the current teams have been updated to better reflect their real world standing. So that kind of almost is an admission that they never updated them in the previous games, because otherwise why would they mention them? But apparently they've been reworked a bit behind the scenes. We never get to see what facility levels the AI teams are at. So we never really get to see it. We just got to take their word that they've updated them, and maybe there's more balancing. Like, for example, maybe Aston Martin now have higher levels on their chassis engine, or chassis and aero, for example, sorry, because they've got their new facilities, or in real life, they've improved vastly. So they should be having better facilities to start off with in the background coding. Also, the costs of upgrading facilities in general have been refined. So the cost of upgrading our facility, so the price, has been changed just to balance that. To be fair, on F1 22, it was kind of pretty much the same as F1 2021. And we were saying for all that time that there needs to be maybe more balancing to make it even more challenging to build your team from newcomer all the way to championship contender. And then also the contract costs have been changed as well. So I assume that means the contract costs for the drivers. So maybe now it's even more expensive to buy out a driver's contract. So you can't just go for, you know, the fan favorites that are like great bang for your buck, like Carlos Sainz, Leclerc, Russell, Lando. You know, those drivers were always the go-tos to get because they were kind of cheaper, but still great rated. So now maybe they've balanced those, or basically they've just locked in the contract costs so that, you know, it's coded that, oh, Lando's got a long contract, so you're going to have to pay him a lot more to get out the contract. I assume that, and I hope that's what that means, because that is that's a nice improvement in terms of making it more difficult again and more realistic about a new team building. They're not going to be able to get someone like Lando straight off the bat unless they have massive amount of money and capital and facilities. In addition, both primary and secondary sponsor payouts have been adjusted. So again, a balancing of sorts for sponsor payouts. So again, making that more difficult, I hope, in terms of, you know, it's not going to be easy and there's going to be less money involved. And that means you're going to have to buy the kind of facility improvements that actually give you more R&D to kind of, you know, adjust over that, I suspect. So overall, this entire paragraph about teams and facilities, anything new is not new. It's balancing. They've tweaked what's already there. They've tweaked the numbers, but I'm not seeing any language here that says there's actually anything tangibly new about facilities or the way they work or upgrades or contracts. It's all just balancing from what we had with F1 22. Along with these changes, thanks to feedback from the community, okay, there have been multiple stability improvements made across these modes. Stability improvements. Stability improvements are what are put in patches, not game-changing things to add to a new game. Feedback from community. If this was feedback from community, I question why these stability improvements were not put in last year's game, because stability improvements are literally what you get in patches. You like you know, patch 1.10 down the line of this game, you know, usually they're for online, like online stability improvements because something's breaking or not working how it should. So things that weren't working in F1 22, thank the Lord, now work in F1 23. So multiple stability improvements. Okay, I mean, to be fair, you know, you want that anyway. So, you know, cool. Why? Okay, I don't think it should be put in an article about new things, but okay, some things that were broken, there were so many things that were not great in F1 22 that I can't remember them all, but hopefully some of them that come to my mind later down the line have been improved. Okay, on top of all of this, we have made now we're getting some additions. Several additions to in-game presentation, including cutscenes featuring Natalie Pinkham. A variety of voice lines from race engineer Mark Priestley. So, audio, VO. They've added several new lines of VO. So, I don't know. Hopefully that means Mark's more dynamic with what he can say, maybe more realistic to what he can say. And then race introductions from David Croft and Alex Jack. So they've made several additions to the race intro. So again, like we saw with Breaking Point and F1 World, there was so many more VO lines. So maybe they've added more lines for Crofty and Alex to say that are more dynamic depending on your championship position, your race, you know, situation potentially. So basically some new cutscenes for interviews maybe, and more VO lines. So a lot of audio, basically. A lot of audio, not actually anything that changes the gameplay of you playing the facilities or anything like that. And it's just VO and cutscenes. All changes that are reflected in other areas of the game, such as 35% race, red flags, Las Vegas, Qatar, are all included in my team and career. I mean, that is, again, the most useless paragraph ever. That is what you would expect. Who was expecting career mode not to have Las Vegas and Qatar? Who was expecting career not to have 35% race distances, red flags? They're always going to be in the game. Just like the handling. Like, you're not going to say the handling is not available in my team career mode. I get it. I get this is meant to be a very PR heavy article trying to spin this the best way possible. My team, and this is the case in point, my team career mode and career modes continue to be an important part of the F1 game series. We can't wait to hear about the stories you create along the way. That should be said. I can't wait to hear the stories that you create, asterisks, with PC mods along your journey in F1 23, because that is actually the truth. If you're on console, I'm so sorry for you. I'm so sorry for every console player. I feel for you because there's nothing new. This stuff that's always going to be in the game because that's a foundational game improvement. There's some VO and some new cutscenes from Natalie Pinkham. We don't even know what they are, so that's my guess that they're going to be interview questions. But in terms of facilities, how you work your team, contracts, upgrades, everything, it's all just balance changes. Balance changes is said there, balance changes here. It's all just balance changes. Unless they're hiding something, okay? This is the only benefit of the doubt I'll give them. Remember in F1 2019, this is some years ago, this may not be a big deal if you're a new F1 player, but to us who played F1 career mode from 2010 to 2019, it was a huge deal. But in F1 2019, they never advertised that driver transfers were going to be a thing. And they just snuck it in. And then at launch, we all realised, oh, driver transfers. So, there's the benefit of the doubt that maybe they're hiding something. I will give them the chance of launch. When I play the game fully, at launch, release launch version, not the preview copy or anything, I will give them the doubt. Maybe there's something they're hiding from us. Maybe. But based off this, console players, I'm sorry. Console players, the reason you should get F1 23, if you are going to get it, is for the much better handling. Obviously, don't just take my word on it. Take Jarno Otmir's word, the former esports champion, other creators. We've all said the same thing. The handling, we're not lying. The handling is so much better. There's nothing new. The icons, you're always going to add icons. They're always going to add new icons. They wouldn't not add icons. And even if they didn't, I wouldn't be upset because, you don't use the icons that much. Use them for maybe 1 or 2 seasons or whatever. But in terms of tangible gameplay, it doesn't really affect the facilities or anything like that. So, that's it. There's podium pass changes and all this malarkey I don't care about. Yeah, that's the improvements. The improvements mostly are balance changes and feedback from the community on stability improvements. VO, Natalie Pinkham, stuff that will be in the game anyway. With that stuff and icons that were always going to be in the game. Like I said, they could be hiding something. I don't think they are, but they could be hiding something that's in the game that's going to change the game. But based off this is why I said at the start of the video, I'm worried and I'm disappointed. I'm going to leave my full thoughts, because I've got a lot of them right up here right now. I'm going to leave those thoughts till after the full game comes out, because what I want to do is I want to play my team career mode for myself. I want to tangibly see, okay, how good are, these balances they're doing. How big of an impact do these balance changes make to the experience? I'll come back. You can hold me to this. I'll come back and do a video kind of more reviewing, because right now this is a preview. This is like a guesswork of what's there, and they're telling us what to expect with this article. So after the game's out, I want to play the game for a week, really suss out, is there anything new? Is there anything hidden? how are these balance changes, and then I will come on here and do a video where I speak my thoughts, because I've got a lot of them burning right now, but it would be unfair to say them until I've actually played the full game myself and really seen how these changes work and see if there's anything hidden. Because, to be fair, if I had reviewed F1 2019 career mode before I played it, I wouldn't have been that favourable about it compared to after I played it and I found out there were driver transfers. So I'll give them 1 week post-launch, play the game, you know, start my series as normal. Excited to make these new stories for you guys that you guys can immerse yourselves in. But I will come back and I will be giving my full thoughts on how my team really is. And I will be putting some questions to EA, to Cody's, out in the public, and I hope you guys come back onto that video and get involved in the discussion. But right now, as it stands, this is what we know. This is what we know, and based off this, I am worried and concerned about the health of my favorite F1 game mode. Yeah, guys, if you've enjoyed listening to me and my opinions about it, then hit the like button. I don't think you'll be hitting the like button about the news you found out. Let me know in the comments below what you make of this. What do you honestly make of all this? And yeah, like I said, please do come back to this channel in a week's time. Obviously, I'll be uploading my team career mode when the game launches. But after a week of playing, I will be coming back and making an in-depth, critical, not rant, critical analysis of the game mode and what they've actually improved, and just kind of putting it out there of, you know, my thoughts. Because at the moment, I've got a lot of thoughts. I want to say them all, but it's not the right time to, because I've not played the game actually. So I want to give them the benefit of the doubt of playing the game first, because that's the only fair thing. I need to play the game first, and then I can actually spout off whatever I want to say. So yeah, till then, I guess... Yeah, next week the game comes out. Next week I'll be uploading part 1, F1 23 My Team Career Mode, and I guess we'll there'll be no hiding. There'll be no hiding, EA and Cody's. That's when we'll see what's what with My Team Career Mode. Yeah, so till then, guys, hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Goodbye.